right, everyone. Pull up a chair and let's get into this because the Duchess of Disasters, Meghan Markle, has done it again. And this time, it is truly, deeply shameful. First, let's just address the whispers coming out of Hollywood. To me, it sounds like Netflix wanted to cancel their whole sordid deal with the Sussexes, and someone representing Meghan and Harry, probably their high-powered agent, begged them to at least say that it's a first-look deal. It's a classic PR spin. It's not a cancellation, you see. They don't think you're losers, which, let's be honest, we all do. They're such winners that the biggest streaming platform in the world just wants a first look at any projects you might deign to unleash down the line. But really, it's just a face-saving mechanism, because if Netflix truly wanted to renew an exclusive deal with these two, they could have easily done it, but they didn't. And that tells you everything you need to know. Now, I know you guys are excited for more Holland strength, but before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, come on guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, the ink is barely dry on the catastrophic reviews of her second Netflix series, With Love, Megyn, a show that critics have rightly called self-indulgent, a vanity project, and painfully, utterly irrelevant. And already, the familiar, cynical Markle strategy is unfolding before our very eyes. When in doubt, when the ratings are in the toilet, when the critics are laughing at you, what do? You wheel out the kids. Yes, Archie and Lilibet have once again been pushed into the spotlight, not as beloved children, but as tiny, innocent pawns in Meghan's desperate, flailing attempt to salvage her sinking brand. And this time, the formidable Megyn Kelly isn't having any of it. Kelly, who is known for her razor-sharp media takedowns, called Meghan's move a textbook manipulation tactic, a sentiment that has been quickly and loudly echoed across the entire media landscape. Because let's be crystal clear about what this is. This isn't about sharing adorable family moments. This is about distracting from a very public, very expensive, and very humiliating career implosion. Let's start with the cold, hard numbers, because facts, unlike Meghan Markle, do not lie. When she and Harry inked that staggering $100 million deal with Netflix, the executives in their glass towers in Hollywood must have been imagining gripping documentaries, exclusive royal insights, maybe even something that was award-worthy. What they got instead was With Love, Megyn, a self-indulgent, sickly sweet, syrupy PR puff piece masquerading as a reality show. According to Netflix's own streaming charts, Season 2 of this disaster failed to break the top 10 in both the US and the UK in its crucial first 2 weeks. That is a humiliating blow, considering that Meghan Markle's royal title still, for some reason, carries enormous name recognition. Even the Daily Mail, which she so despises, ran the brutal headline, Meghan's Netflix flop, viewers yawn as ratings crash. And that is not the kind of coverage Netflix signed up for when they wrote that 9-figure check. For context, her debut series with Harry at least launched strong, fueled by controversy and morbid curiosity, but even that suffered a steep 60% audience drop by the third episode. This sequel, this second helping of blandness, barely limped out of the gate at all. It seems the public has finally spoken. The Meghan Markle brand might be famous, but her fame does not automatically equal interest or, more importantly, trust. The professional critics were not any kinder. The Guardian called the series a cringe-inducing vanity project, while Variety noted that it lacks substance, direction, or purpose, and is just a glossy extension of Meghan Markle's public image. Even the Times weighed in, stating bluntly, Meghan Markle seems to believe the world is endlessly fascinated by Meghan Markle. Sadly, this show proves otherwise. And the audience agreed. On Rotten Tomatoes, it was given a dismal 29% approval rating, while viewer reviews described it as boring, preachy, and completely and utterly out of touch. The point is simple. Critics didn't just dislike With Love, Megyn, they dismissed it. And in Hollywood, being ignored is a fate far worse than being hated. Megyn wanted cultural relevance. What she got was total cultural indifference. And while Megyn clearly hoped that this Netflix fame would soften her public image, the complete opposite has happened. Polling data from YouGov shows that the Sussexes' popularity has plummeted to record, catastrophic lows in both the UK and the US. Here in the UK, Meghan's approval rating has dropped to just 26%, while Harry's has fallen to 31%. A far, far cry from their wedding day highs, when they were celebrated as modernizing forces for the monarchy. And in the United States, where the couple once enjoyed near royal celebrity status, their approval rating slid sharply after their Spotify deal collapsed in 2023, and Omid Scobie's latest bombshell book reignited all the family feuds. Brand experts told Forbes, the Sussexes are now overexposed, under-delivering, and dangerously close to irrelevance. Even the once sympathetic American audiences are growing tired of the endless royal grievances, the half-baked media projects, and the contradictory, hypocritical messaging about privacy versus publicity. And then enter Megyn Kelly, the media firebrand who has made a career out of skewering public figures who think they can manipulate the press and the public. On her top-rated SiriusXM show, Kelly did not hold back. This is what Meghan Markle always does, she said. The moment there's a career disaster, she wheels out the kids for sympathy. It's transparent, it's manipulative, and frankly, it's insulting to the audience's intelligence. Meghan can't sell a show without drama, so now she's selling her kids. And Meghan is spot on. Her words hit a nerve, because they exposed a pattern that many of us have suspected for years. Meghan Markle wants to control the narrative when it suits her. But when things go wrong, out come Archie and Lilibet like human shields, deployed to deflect the incoming fire. And this is where the hypocrisy reaches a new, nauseating peak. For years, Meghan and Harry have waged legal wars against the British press for intruding on their children's privacy. They sat on Oprah's couch and told the world they left royal life to protect Archie and Lilibet from the spotlight. Harry's entire memoir, Spare, painted the paparazzi as mustache-twirling villains who were destroying his family's peace. Yet here we are, just days after, with Love Meghan bombs, and suddenly we are being treated to a flood of professionally shot photos of Archie baking cookies, of Lilibet blowing out her birthday candles, and of Meghan giving interviews about the profound joys of motherhood. All of it released on her terms, in her timing, and right when her career desperately needs saving. Royal insiders told The Telegraph, the contradiction is staggering. You can't demand privacy one day and then use the children as PR props the next. Even mainstream commentators like the Good Morning Britain host Richard Madley asked on air, do they want privacy or do they want publicity? Because right now, it looks like they want both, whenever it suits them. And the public has noticed. Hashtags like #LeaveTheKidsAlone trended as social media users accused Meghan of using her children to deflect criticism from her own failing career moves. The PR experts started weighing in, and the verdict was brutal. Sarah Cook, a celebrity branding strategist, described Meghan's tactic as a classic distraction maneuver used when reputations are in freefall. She explained, the problem for Meghan Markle is that people can spot the pattern now. It doesn't look organic. It looks desperate. Another PR consultant quoted in The Telegraph went even further. Meghan's brand has become so synonymous with victimhood and self-promotion that every move feels calculated. Wheeling out the children after a career flop isn't endearing, it's manipulative. The audience no longer buys it. Back in the UK, royal aides and insiders have reportedly been shaking their heads in utter disbelief. Speaking anonymously, one senior palace source said, for years, Harry and Meghan accused the royal family of exploiting them for publicity. Now, here she is, parading the children in front of cameras when it suits her career. The hypocrisy is staggering. Another insider told The Times, senior royals are appalled. William and Kate go to extraordinary lengths to protect their children's privacy. Meghan seems to use hers as damage control whenever she needs sympathy. And the contrast is hard to ignore. Our magnificent Prince and Princess of Wales release carefully curated, low-key, beautiful birthday photos of George, Charlotte, and Louis once or twice a year, always out of respect for their privacy and as a thank you to the public. Meanwhile, Meghan appears to unveil Archie and Lilibet, strategically timed to her own PR needs rather than any meaningful family moments. She is raising props, not princes and princesses. And behind the scenes, the Sussexes aren't just battling public opinion, they are battling harsh financial realities. After Spotify terminated their $20 million podcast deal, insiders reported that Meghan and Harry were left scrambling. The Wall Street Journal revealed the deal ended because they failed to meet the content expectations. Netflix executives are now, according to The Hollywood Reporter, reevaluating any future deals with the couple. In other words, the golden Sussex media era might be ending and fast. And suddenly those cutesy Archie and Lilibet moments look less like genuine family glimpses and more like calculated PR lifelines designed to keep the money flowing. But here is the final, fatal blow. The audiences simply are not interested anymore. The polls show a dramatic drop in public sympathy. Back in 2021, after Oprah, they were viewed as brave truth-tellers. Now, they're increasingly seen as chronic complainers, clinging to a tired victimhood narrative for relevance. One Washington Post columnist summed it up bluntly. You can only play the same cards so many times before the audience folds. Meghan and Harry have turned themselves into a never-ending soap opera, and people are changing the channel. The YouTube comments on Megyn Kelly's viral rant echoed this sentiment. They blamed the royals, the media, the British public. Never themselves. Stop monetizing your misery. Enough already. Either work or disappear, but quit playing the victims. The Sussexes wanted to control the narrative. Instead, they have lost it entirely. With critics savaging their show, Megyn Kelly's viral roast dominating headlines, and the public calling out their blatant child PR stunt, Meghan Markle now faces the one thing every narcissist dreads: irrelevance. The Netflix flop exposed the limits of her brand. The backlash revealed the public's fatigue, and the financial cracks show the empire isn't as bulletproof as they thought. In trying to manipulate the story with Archie and Lilibet, Meghan might have only confirmed what her critics have been saying for years. This was never about family. This was always, only, about fame. What do you guys think of this whole insane situation? Is she right to use her kids like this, or is it the ultimate act of cynical manipulation? Let me know everything you are thinking down in the comments. Let's really get into this because it is just mind-blowing. Until next time, take care. Ta-ta, and bye for now.